We will continue with finding patterns, which is very useful for finding strings in the inside files and in the names of the files or directories in Linux. So there are different tools that can be used. For instance, grep, find, and one can also use regular expressions, right, to make multiple searches at the same time. So we will cover how to find a specific pattern in a file or a file name. And I will leave this on your own so that you can read it after all. So we just mentioned the regular expressions, which is more advanced. So the example for this section can be found in the exercises and patterns folder. Yes. So if you haven't done it, you can get this file, the zip file from this link here, and then you can unpack it as is mentioned here. Right? But I hope you have done it already. So the grep command searches for patterns in text files, right? We have seen previously how to create the files and how to edit files. And then if we want to search for some pattern inside a file, we can use the grep command, yes? So the syntax is as follows. We write on the command line grep, then we put some options here in this space here, and then the file name that we want to target. Yes, when you see this string, it means you should substitute that with the name of the file that you want to look at. So in the options, we can choose several values as they are listed here, and they are even more options that you can use with the grep command to make it more powerful. Here, there are only some of them or the most useful and frequent options. For instance, if we type -I, it means ignore case, and -O only output the instance of the pattern you search for, not the full line, right? Because by default, grep will print out the entire line where it finds the pattern, right? -E uses a regular expression as a pattern, and it can be interpreted as an O operation if you want to use multiple searchers, or even if the pattern that you want to search for, it starts with a dash, yes, then this option will protect the search so that it also search for this character, yes. So here you can find other options. You can also read more about the options in grep with the man command. If you type man grep on the terminal, then you will see a more detailed explanation on what are the different options for this command. So here there is an example on how grep works. So in the exercises pattern section, so you can find the files corresponding to this section. For instance, we have a file called field.txt, and this contains only this line, yes. And we have also a file called new file. Yes, and it contains more lines. Yes, so we will use these two files here. So, for instance, if we want to search for the string word inside a file, yes, we type a grep word, and then the file name, for instance, field.txt. And you see that it prints out the entire line where the word was found, right? And I am using here a color-coded, yes, version of my shell so that it prints out the found patterns in a different color. I like this, and yes, but if you don't have modify your default variables in Bash, then you should see only everything in white text. So I like this option for grep. You see here that we can combine several flags or options that we saw before, and we can make it more powerful. For instance, I am using the -R, -I, -N, -E, and you can read above again what they mean. And basically, I am combining everything in this string here, and it will look or search for the word string inside a path or a folder, right? Recursively, which means that it will search for the word in all the files contained in this directory and even in subdirectories, yes, and in the files that are placed there, right? So this is very useful, especially if you have many subdirectories, and if you are developing code, for instance, and you don't remember where some string was written. So this is quite very useful. So here there are some exercises for grep. Here you will try to find the pattern string in the new file that we saw before, and also search for some instances of the word contains in the file.txt and count them. We have seen how to count them. And here there are also two additional exercises to try and a possible solution for these exercises. So now we move to the next command, yes, which is find. And find can be used, as the name suggests, to find a file and a directory, yes, in your Linux file system, yes. So here is the syntax. First, you write the command find, then the path where you want to start the search, then some options, and then some expression that is the criteria for filtering and locating files. So for the options, we have different options, and also if you type man file on the terminal, you will see a more detailed explanation of find and how to make it more powerful. Here there are only the most common options. Dash type F means a search for files. Dash type D means only search for directories. If you write also a dash name, it will search for some files with a specific name or name pattern. This is a bit more specific if you want to search for some size of the files, right? So that is between plus minus a reference value. For instance, if you want a file which is less than 1 MB in size, then you can use this option here. also to specify the time. And this is to execute some command, right? That can help you to filter the output of find. So here there is an example, yes, on how to find a pattern, yes. I can try this. So here we find the file 4 in the directory you're standing in and below. So how to do this? So in principle, I cannot find this file here. Yes, file 4 is not here. Yes, but maybe it's inside one of the directories that are listed here. So how to do that? I can type this command, right? And then it will search for the current directory. Yes. And below, yes, so that you can see that the file called fil4.txt is in one of the subdirectories of the current directory called dir1. Okay? So it's here. So this is more advanced, as I mentioned before. This is for regular expressions. And they make the search more powerful, I would say, because one can target several files at the same time. So I will leave this for your own reading, yes, and because this is a bit more elaborated and advanced, and here there are some suggestions for doing the regular expression. Okay, so then I will move